for Wall Street Media. This is Maria. I'm here with Doug, and we'll help you make money in the stock market with information you can't get anywhere else.
Oodles of stuff, all from Vegas, right?
Exactly. Still continuing on the B Rally conference. We have a video for you, and this one features Dr. Bill Filer. He's the VP and Director of Technology for American Vanguard. Their ticker is AVD, and he discusses diverse manufacturing, previous and newly acquired. Here it is.
This is a company that also has taken a decidedly different view to the U.S. manufacturing posture that many people have approached in recent years. A lot of companies have gone, manufacturing light, preferring to buy things from India and China and essentially be distributors, value-added distributors of those products. This is a company that has decided that it wants to be more principled than that. It wants to have high-quality, domestic North American capabilities with proper environmental controls and long-term sustainability. The original plant that the company had is in the Los Angeles area. A number of years ago, we took up a tenancy, if you will, with the DuPont Corporation in an area near Mobile, Alabama, that's referred to as Axis. It's very nice being a tenant of DuPont. They have tremendous infrastructure, tremendous safety, tremendous environmental effluent control, all the proper regulations and bells and whistles. It's great to have such a wonderful landlord as DuPont. Similarly, a few months ago, we took up a similar type of position, acquiring a portion of a BASF plant in Hannibal, Missouri. BASF, like DuPont, world-class in infrastructure, environmental treatment, regulatory compliance. Once again, it's great to own a portion of the BASF facility in Missouri. And recently, just a few weeks ago, we announced the acquisition from Bayer Corporation of a facility in Idaho, which gives us a logistical benefit in the Pacific Northwest for the potato market and also Western Canada for various grains grown there. So if you think about that logistically, we now have something in the Southeast United States in Alabama, something in the Midwest in Missouri, something in the Pacific Northwest in Idaho, in addition to our traditional Los Angeles-based plant. It gives us logistical flexibility, it gives us operational flexibility, and once again, it gives us the kind of thing that we're looking for, which is very high quality, very close to market, and very environmentally cautious, not dumping something in a stream in China and having to hear about it at a later point in time.
All right, we have another video clip for you today, and this one features Bradley Larson. He's the CEO of Meadow Valley, and their ticker is MVCO, and he discusses the three business segments it operates, which is construction services, construction materials, and construction materials testing. Here it is.
To give you a little bit more detail about each of the two segments, the construction services segment focuses primarily on building transportation infrastructure. So this would include just about anything that your car or your airplane would move on. Roads and bridges, airport runways. We emphasize structural concrete. That's the area of expertise that we have. By that I mean anything that concrete is being poured into a form or being poured onto the ground is the work that we're most proficient at. Meadow Valley Contractors, Inc. is 100% owned by Meadow Valley Corporation, the parent company. And since its founding back in 1980, Meadow Valley Contractors has built a little over $1 billion worth of work, again, primarily in the states of Arizona and Nevada, and with some work that we've performed in adjoining states in Utah and New Mexico. In fact, if you travel around here in the Vegas area, one of our trademark projects is what they call the Spaghetti Bowl downtown. If you travel downtown, you'll see this giant freeway intersection, which is the intersection of US 93, 95, and I-15, which we built. It was about a $100 million project. We completed it in year 2000. On the materials side, the ready-mix business we run, and the name of the company tells us what we do, and that is it's called Ready Mix Inc. It consists of 3 concrete batch plants here in the Vegas market, as well as 3 concrete batch plants in the Phoenix market. We have a 4th batch plant in southern Nevada, which is located out in Moapa, which is about 50 miles to the northeast of here. It's also in Moapa where we crush and screen aggregates for our own use in manufacturing ready-mix concrete. The business is quite simple. We just take rock, sand, water, and cement along with some chemical admixtures, mix it into a truck, and deliver it to our customers. And our customers are a variety of types. They could be prime contractors like Meadow Valley Contractors. They could be home builders, pool builders, concrete subcontractors, and customers of that sort. We have some long-term mining leases that allow us to claim reserves in terms of rock and sand that gives us some future visibility in terms of the raw materials that we're able to extract from the ground and incorporate into our product. Ready Mix Inc. back in 2005 spun off about 42% of the company back then, 48%, and we've recently bought back the shares, and so today we own 69.4% of Ready Mix Inc., which also trades separately on the American Stock Exchange under the symbol RMX. It was founded in 1996, but really began operations in 1997.
All right, and moving right along with the next video, in which we have James Bolt. He's the Chairman, President, and CEO of Computer Task Group. Their ticker is CTGX, and he talks about the company's growing focus on solutions business, as well as their place on Business 2.0's list of the 100 fastest growing technology companies. Here it is.
Our strategic goals to continue to grow in the faster growing major markets. There's no doubt in our mind that healthcare is going to be the fastest growing industry going forward. Virtually all of our investment dollars over the last 2 years have been in the healthcare market, and I suspect we're going to continue that for certainly the next 2 to 5 year period. Grow more rapidly than the industry average. We've obviously demonstrated that we're doing that, and we believe that it'll continue, particularly because we're focused on healthcare. We're absolutely committed to getting the mix of the business back to 50%, with the solutions now growing faster than staffing. That should occur over the next probably 3 to 4 years. Expand our operating margins. If the solutions goes back to 50%, we'd expect operating margins between 6 and 7%, or about twice what we're expecting in 2008. And then continue to develop in-demand, niche, and repeatable solutions. Just some investment considerations. Last year in June, Business 2.0, which is a Time Warner magazine, wanted to identify the 100 fastest growing technology companies. This is any kind of technology, so it included video game manufacturers, iPad manufacturers, software, hardware, services. They looked at a 3-year period of time, 2004, 5, and 6. They looked at 3 growth elements, revenue growth, operating income growth, and cash flow growth. And I'm pleased to tell you that out of the over 2,000 publicly traded companies that they looked at, CTG was the 69th fastest growing company. To put that in perspective, eBay, which most people consider a growth company, was 92nd, so we beat them. Yahoo was 46th. Clearly, we're going to continue to grow our solutions business. Absolutely no doubt in our mind that healthcare worldwide is going to be the fastest growing industry. It's going to take up a bigger part of the GDP going forward, probably for the next couple decades. We're not talking about doing electronic medical records in the future. We've actually done them for the last 5 years. It's just a part of our business. Clearly, the revenue growth going forward is going to drive our income, but quite frankly, we're going to have more growth out of our income in the next 3 or 4 years as our mix changes and favors more solutions business. We have a very active stock repurchase program. Last year, we repurchased 925,000 shares. It's a little less than 5% of our outstanding stock. Our board just gave us an authorization to repurchase another 1 million shares.
All right, and last but definitely not least, we have Marley again, still in Vegas at the B-Rally conference, and she got a hold of Michael Rodriguez, who's the CFO of Endocare. Their ticker is ENDO. Here it is.
For Wall Street Media, this is Marley. I'm here with Michael Rodriguez, the CFO of Endocare. So, Michael, tell our viewers a little bit about what it is that Endocare does.
You bet. Endocare produces systems that conduct cryoablation, which is basically the freezing of tissue and tumors in the body, specifically for cancer treatment. So it's a novel and minimally invasive way to treat cancers in the prostate and renal, liver, lung, and bone cancers as well.
I read a little bit online about your CryoCare systems. Could you explain those to us?
You bet. The systems themselves are proprietary technology that we've developed that use argon gas stored at really high rates of pressure. And when that gas is deployed and depressurized, it reduces the temperature very quickly and to very, very low amounts of temperature. So you're really reducing the temperature in the prostate to minus 20 or minus 40 Celsius. And we know statistically and clinically that at that level of temperature that the cells in the prostate get destroyed. And it's a really novel way to kill cancer and ensure, really, and more importantly, that it stays killed.
Great. And what do you think the street is missing when it comes to your stock?
I think that we represent a really good growth story. I think we've had a few years now where our former management team got us into some issues with the SEC. We've now gotten past those. There's no more ancillary issues for the business. And I think what they're looking forward to seeing is now that our revenues begin to track and the growth is continuing to be significant, that there's really an opportunity here with cryoablation as a platform technology to be able not only to treat a very large area of cancer in the prostate, but also in some really dastardly areas of the body, in the kidneys and the liver and lung and bone. That there's a tremendous growth opportunity here, and we're going to continue to push forward that way.
Great. So you mentioned growth quite a few times. What can we expect to see from you in the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, we don't talk about growth from a forward-looking perspective very often, but I think what we look at is our historical performance has been that we've had 20% or greater procedural growth year over year. And we've said that to be a growth company, we really have to retain and maintain those rates of growth. And otherwise, we're just not that really interesting of a story. The markets that we serve are very, very large, and cryo forms a very, very positive treatment modality in those areas. And so we think that the growth can continue to be significant going forward.
Great. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out to meet with me, Michael.
Thank you.
You know what? This was the wrap-up for our Be Rally coverage this week.
That's
We brought
right.
you lots and lots of videos and interviews, and hopefully you loved all of it. Click the feedback button underneath your little screen. Just hit it and send us your feedback on the show, on those stocks that we just reported on. Tell us what you think, and then we'll be back next week. Have a good weekend. We're here every day at Wall Street Media. You can find us directly at WSMCO.com. Thank you.